Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today I am going to work on my doll. Now, I know a lot of you did not like my wicked fast wrapping of my doll with tape. Um, I don't know. I will do another one where I will sit and talk through it and teach you guys. I didn't even think about you guys wanting to learn how to wrap it. I don't know why. Don't ask. Life has been a little rough for me. Um, but I definitely will. The comments were making me laugh. But so this is just the polymer clay doll that I did on the um, armature that I made. You can see that I used all scrap clay and I did not sand it. You know, why? Because I'm going to show you a cool way to do this. Easy for people like us. As most of you know, I have RA and fibro, amongst other things. And pain is my friend 24/7. So sometimes things are easier for me to do than others. So I've taught myself and I learned myself. Um, I just do it in a way that it's a little bit more easier, friendlier for my illnesses on days that I'm having a bad day. Having said that, though, this is great for beginners. This is great for if you want to do a project and you don't want to sit for hours and smooth and sand and do all that stuff. That is fun on its own. I love doing that as well. But I wanted to show everybody, especially beginners, how to do something so simple. You don't have to use your scrap clay. I have tons of scrap clay, so why not use it to my benefit? But you know, you guys use whatever you want. You can also do this with paper clay. Air dry clay. Crayola has a great air dry clay. You can do the same thing. Not have to worry about smoothing out if you don't want to. Make sure it's completely dry. Sometimes I will put my paper clay or my air dry clay in the oven at 200 for, like a half hour, 45 minutes, depending on how big and thick it is. Just to help it dry a little bit to make sure it doesn't mold. But honestly, if you do it and you leave it sit overnight and everything, and it's a decent, day out, not too humid or anything, you should be good to go. So here's where it is. And what I'm going to do, and she's hard as a rock. All right, so I have this paper, and this is scrapbook paper. Now, I wanted to show you, this is really thin scrapbook paper, and that's what's going to be good for this, because I want it to form around. Now it's heirloom, which means it's a vintagey, and it's a lot more vintagey looking, which is no big deal because we can definitely paint over it. I'm going to tear some papers out like that and just pick some colors. I use this a lot, this book. I don't know why I'm drawn to it, but I am. And I'm just tearing. I'm not worrying. I'm not worrying, I'm tearing, not worrying, I'm tearing apart, tearing the paper. And then we'll get this. And you see, I have no rhyme or reason. I'm just tearing. Now, you definitely can use different. Maybe I should grab another book for a few other colors. Because you can see, this is kind of, hence the name vintage. It's vintagey. And sometimes I like bright colors. Now we can always look if this is all you have, or if you go to the store and they only have these kind of colors and they're on clearance and you grab them because we can fix all that. All right, let me see. I just want some colors. Okay. Why can't I find colors now? I have 600 million books of paper. Alright, let's grab this pile. If you saw how much paper I have here, you would pee your pants. Why are you even taking a minute to look, Kelly? Because that's just how I do it. This is for my black and white stuff I'm going to do. Black and white, who doesn't love black and white? It's a nice one. And then we can use that one. Okay. Maybe that one too. I just want some color. And now, as I start cleaning my room, I have a big pile of papers. I know, 4 minutes and 34 seconds in, and you haven't started anything. Why are you talking so much? Whatever. All right. Matte decoupage, my doll, some papers. Oh, let's get getting. All right. So all I'm going to do is zoom. All right. All I'm going to do is take my doll. All I'm going to do is take me a paintbrush. Should I have dried it before? Yeah. Preparation is the #1 key. All right. And I'm going to take some of my decoupage, and I'll move this a little bit closer. Decoupage, decoupage. And look at me. Look at me. I'm just throwing it on there. Some glue. Nothing too fancy. Why would I stick that back in? Oh, okay, so forget about it. I'm just taking some paper. You can use newspaper. You can use paper towel. We're just gonna stick it on. And then run this over so it sticks. We're giving it a seal. And at first it's going to be a little like funny. Not funny, haha, but funny like, why are you messing with my paper? You want to really push on it because you want it to get in them crevices and you want the paper to be wet. Now you can dampen the paper. I've done this before. You can definitely spray the paper with water. You don't want it soaking wet, but you want it, you know, a little damp. Damp's such a yucky word. And that'll help it. I'll show you. I'll show you this one. All right, you see this? I'm just gonna go poop like that, right? And then it's just a little bit damp, and you can do a little, maybe a poop like that, and then lay it down, and you will see it forms a lot better and kind of sticks to the glue. But we're kind of paper macheing, but not really, but kind of. If you know what I mean. All right. And then, like I said, just go boop, 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 so it gets in the crevices. And leave it sit for a second. Don't play around with it too much because, you know, you'll just frustrate yourself because it'll get to where you're getting. And I'm going to spray this. Well, I think I sprayed a little bit more than one bloop. But if I don't do it my way, then, all right. And I'll complain that it's too wet, but whatever. All right. And this is fun to do this doll this way because you don't have to worry about, I don't know, being on point, having to think too much. Although, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I can't pause it. My hands are gluey and my husband's texting me. Okay. All right. I don't even know what I was going to say. Sometimes it's very fun to really sit down and take the time to do it right. Take the time, do it right. You can do it, baby. Okay. But, you know, sometimes it's fun. I love it. Other times I just want to have a project in my head that I want to do. And this is so therapeutic. Ripping paper and putting it on there? Come on. Who doesn't like to do that? But it's like paper mache, but not really. That's why you can use whatever kind of paper that you want. And you can cut it in smaller strips, definitely, if you think that, you know, it's easier for you or, you know, whatever. When I do it on video, I hate wasting everybody's time watching me glue or listening to me sing. I don't know which is worse. Comments to yourself. Don't you tell me the comments, which is worse. Use your fingers because that's how you're going to, like, really feel it. Push it all down good and, you know, really get it on there. And you want some glue, but you don't want air bubbles. But if you have air bubbles, guess what? It don't matter. I have some air bubbles in my stomach right now. And don't lie, some of you out there have them air bubbles too. Okay. See how we doing? See how we doing? All right. I'm going to put some here. My dog, he's like, okay, can you be quiet? I come in your art room to nap, and all you do is talk. I talk to him. I talk to myself. Call my husband on the phone while he's in his office downstairs, which is, you know, like, oh, I had an idea. What do you think about this? Oh, I had an idea. What do you think about that? What do you want for dinner? Well, you know what? I don't feel like doing that. What about this? What about that? Ready? Some more paper. And you see why, really, whatever paper you have will work. It's not a big deal. And you will go over it again with the glue at the end. Now, obviously, for the hands, the arms, right? I'm going to put glue. And I never said this was a clean thing. All of you who know me know I'm not necessarily a clean thing when it comes to art. I walk around with more paint on my arms and my shirts and my hands, and I even wash, and sometimes it doesn't. I wash. I even shower every day and wash my hair every day, but dang it, if there's not glitter or paint on me somewhere that people look at me like, what were you doing? I'm an artist. And they look at you like, okay. And people who don't, I don't know if this is just me and I come across do nods, but people do not understand what mixed media is unless you're a mixed media artist. Or an artist. I shouldn't say just a mixed media artist because, I mean, if you're an artist, you know what it is. But, you know what I'm saying? People don't understand and people will look at me like, huh? A what? Mixed media. Media, like on TV? No. And I be nice and I explain it, but they just look at you with those, hollow eyes, like they're thinking like, what am I making for dinner today? You know, that kind of thing. Or, oh, I have a lot of groceries to get, or, something like that. Now, you can definitely, let me just tell you, because I know people leave comments and you're absolutely right. You can take your paper and you could make a slurry of your glue, especially, whatever you glue. Like I said, you can use white school glue, your glue and your water, right? And then put your stuff in there, your paper in there for a minute or so and pull it out like you're doing, how you call it, I know what it is because I've said it 12 times in this video and I can't think of it right now. But you know what I mean? And then pull it out so then everything, is wet and pliable and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that, but you definitely can. You definitely can. If it makes it, paper mache. Yeah, you can make your paper mache slothy stuff. I'm just here to give you the ideas. You just take it and run with it. To me, this is like a therapeutic thing. It's like, I don't know why. Because I'm weird? Could be. Just kind of go over with your hand. It's really not that hard to do it like this, but, to each their own. I just tear off those little pieces. Pieces of you. Oh, my dog. He's like, don't sing. Don't sing. Don't make my ears bleed. Okay. A little bit more glue there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right then. Okay, so let's do these arms. Let's pick another piece of paper. We'll pick our music paper. And do it in little strips. And for now, I'm going to turn her over. You can see how that's dry. I don't know why I do that. Dry, dry. I'm going to pick her up by her big ass head. Oh, big head, sorry. Okay, push that down there. Okay, put glue everywhere. And the reason I put glue everywhere right now, like, even though I'm probably not, I'm going to do up here first, is because it kind of gives it a little bit of tackiness, because, I'm all about the tacky. So when you go to lay it down, it's a little bit helpful. That's all. You definitely don't have to do it. If you don't want, you do it whatever way you want. And I'm just going to lay. Okay. And let me tell you something. If you don't want to use your glue or decoupage or whatever you're using, you can use double-sided tape, double-stick tape. I have tons of that somewhere. Okay. I'm just kind of patting it down there. Pat, 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 pat. Okay. My dog, can you hear him? That's a sin. Poor thing. Now, I highly advise, and that does not mean you have to take my advice, but I highly advise you to do like I'm doing one side and then go to the other side. So you, and then we're going to work on the sides, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. All right, so let's use some of this paper now. And it's just, you know, I'm going to lay it down. And you don't have to cover up all the clay. I mean, you want to cover up a lot of the clay, but not necessarily be so OCD that, and look, I'm not being mean about OCD, because guess what? I'm OCD, but not about certain things. The things I wish I was OCD over, I'm not. Let's face it. Is anybody really? If you have OCD, couldn't you, you know, don't you want to be OCD over other things than what you're OCD over? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Sometimes the things I worry about, my husband's like, really? I'm like, really? You know, what I obsess over, but then there's other things, like I wish I was a clean fanatic. I'm not. I'm sure my husband and daughter wish I was too, but I'm not. I'm definitely not. But will I change my shampoo or soap or change anything on any other day that's Sunday? No, I have to have a Sunday to change anything. If I have almost an empty bottle of shampoo and I have new shampoo to use and it's Sunday, I don't use that shampoo anymore. I use the new one. That's the only day I change things. It's very odd. Why? Don't ask me. It's an obsession. Obsession. Does anybody else have that obsession, or is it just me? All right, see, I'm just laying them down. It's crazy. Like the stuff I worry about. Oh my gosh. No wonder I have stomach ulcers. All I do is worry about stuff that just doesn't matter. And then throw in the depression and everything. Oh, goodness gracious. And the anxiety. I know you guys know. Like, I see normal people. I don't even know if normal is the right word. I don't think anybody's normal. I think normal is just a word that makes you feel bad about yourself. Anyway, I'm not going to get on to that discussion. But I see people and, like, I just, oh, why can't I just be like them? Normal. They just have a normal, happy life, not sick, no chronic illnesses. You know, just have their positive attitude every day and just, you know, that kind of thing. That is not me. Nor do I pretend it's me, because I just can't. I can't. I'm not like somebody who can be fake and get on here and be like, hi. I just can't do that all the time. I think that if people can, and they can separate their life from, you know, whatever they do, whether it's a doctor, you know, whatever thing that we do when that people work with the public, I think that's fantastic. And it makes me angry if I go to a store and somebody's nasty to me, because I'm like, look, you get paid to do this. You better just don't even say anything to me. Say, hi, how are you? And then go on. Don't laugh at my silly jokes. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me where you got your lipstick if I ask you. Just do your job. But don't be nasty and throw my stuff and be rude. Like, because you're getting paid for that. I get that. And I get, you know, but I know we all have moments. I do. I do. I try to be the best why am I even talking about this? I try to be the best person that I can. And even when I'm in a bad way, you know, like I did my vlog the other day, and because that stuff was really bothering me. And it's like, you know, sometimes you feel like you're alone on things that you think about. And so I like to do vlogs. I like to hear everybody's opinion. And it's not like I can call you all up on the phone and say, do you believe that? You know, I love other people. I love other people's opinions. I love that we're all different. But that's the thing. I love it. A lot of people don't like the difference. And you know, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what it affects. I mean, not that I'm perfect, because believe me, I'm sure there's times I open my mouth and there are times I open my mouth and my daughter's like, really? Thank God you weren't in public when you said that. You know what I mean? Or she'll be like, that's not how you say, you know, that's not what you say about that. That's not how you talk. You know, I was also raised in the 70s that, you know, it was a different time. And although I'm quite evolved, I'm not apparently evolved enough, according to my daughter. All right, so what I want to do here is, you see how I have this piece of paper that has nothing on here? I'm going to work with that for around the head. Now, if you don't have paper, like I said, use newspaper, use printer paper, use scrap paper, use brown paper bag, use lunch bags, use whatever you have. Use even, you can use yarn, string, make it your own. That's all I'm saying. Okay, but, you know, so, you know, I have my moments. I'm sure we all do. We all probably say things that come out automatically. I forget what I said the other night, and my daughter shot me such a look. I mean, we were home, like nobody heard me, but I know. I was talking about, I remember. I was talking about the Bruce Jenner thing, and I said, I was talking about her, and I said him. I said, you know, and she just shot me a look, and she's like, by now you should know, you know, and I'm like, ugh. You know, like, I don't understand. I'm learning, but I don't understand all the correct, you know, transgender. I was going to say transunion. That's not it. Transgender, just transsexual, straight, gay, lesbian. Like, I always forget how to say it properly. I respect everybody. It's not, I don't care what you do, what you are, who you love. I'm like, be yourself, man. Go for it. But sometimes you know, my mind just does not focus on. I either have to really think hard before I speak, and then I look like I'm judging in my head or something weird, or, you know. So thank God my sister, my daughter's here to call me out on it and tell me what a stunad I am, because she's told me 20 million times. But I understand it. I understand how it can be hurtful to people. My thing is this. This won't be a popular thing, but my thing is this. I respect and I love everybody for who they are. People who are good and nice to me, I'm good and nice to them, the best that I can be, and as anybody can be as far as a human. I don't want to always be criticized for not knowing the politically correct way to address somebody. Like them. Like my daughter said something about, you say them. You don't say he or she. You know, this, that, the other. Like, to me, I understand that, and I understand it's a respect thing, and I totally get it. Sometimes, though, and it might be fibro, it might be pain, it might be whatever kind of fog I have going on. But my thing is, plus I'm also like a foot and mouth kind of person. Like, sometimes my processing is very slow, so I say things before I think about how to say them better. I'm known for that. But, you know, like, if I accidentally say, like, you know, I thought Bruce Jenner's thing was really, really good at the ESPY Awards, and somebody looks at me and says, you mean Caitlyn and hers? And I'm just like, dude, you knew what the fuck oh, geez, oh, Pete, I'm sorry. You knew what I meant. Like, why? You know what I mean? And I understand to correct me, so I learn, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being rambly today. Maybe it has nothing to do with nothing. I don't know. Everybody wants to be respected, and I suppose if you know, somebody was calling me out of what I am, I can totally see that. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know. I want to watch what I say, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and make people angry, because I don't mean it in any bad word, like bad way or disrespectful way. This is just my thought process, and we all know I'm a bit crazy. But let's turn this over to the front. But you know what I mean. So I'll watch what I say. But I mean, I'm all for whatever you want to do and be. Do and be it, and be the best that you can be. I'm obsessed. I guess this one, I hope this comes off not, I don't know. But I'm obsessed with this TV show, and I got my husband obsessed with it too, and it's bizarre that he enjoys it so much, because he won't watch The Chew with me or anything like that. But it's Stephen and Chris, and it's made in Canada, and it's on the Live Well channel, and I am obsessed. Obsessed that I have hit the record and recorded every episode that plays on the Live Well channel, and I have like 48. And we sit and watch them. And I'll forward through, you know, some of the stuff I don't like some of the fashion shows I don't really dig. But because I don't think they put oh, wait, excuse me. Excuse me. I don't think that, not just this show, but in general, I get angry because they don't put like models on these shows of clothes, or even brands of clothes that have plus size. Like, don't tell me you're showing me plus size models, clothes, and then comes out a size 10, because that's my goal weight. All right. I used to be 130 pounds, 125 pounds before I had my son. And then I got, you know, I gained quite a bit of weight, and then it was hard to get off. And then I got pregnant with my daughter. I only gained 17 pounds with her. However, I got sick. That's when I started getting sick at 28, and all the medications and the steroids and everything like that made me gain so much weight. It makes it so hard to come off. And then the kidney disease I have and everything else, it's hard. But I don't want to see some. First of all, I'm tired of the dang flowers on everything. Flowers and glitter. Look, I love glitter. I love glitter. I love glitter. I don't want glitter on my shirts. I don't want to walk around like a big-sized woman with glitter on her shirts all the time. If I have glitter on my shirt, it's because I was working with glitter, not because I want these big prints of flowers and glitter. Ugh, I told my daughter we're going to start our own clothing line because I can't stand it, you know? And I don't want to have to pay. I mean, honestly, do I have to pay $4, $6 more to get a bigger size? I want to talk about it. See, I hit a bad note with me. But it drives me nuts. Tangent. Went off on a tangent on something totally unrelated. But so I don't like watching it because I don't want to see like, oh, plus size, you know, things for the fall, and then I see them come out and I'm like, she's a size 10. My thigh would not fit in that whole pair of pants. You know what I'm saying? Look, I love myself for who I am. Do I want to lose weight? Yeah, bet your butt I do. But I don't sit and obsess over it, and I don't like hate myself for it. I get on camera, I do my thing, I do me. But you know, I want I want to feel good when I go out. I want to feel, not that I go out a lot, but I mean, I want to feel like if I'm going to the doctor's appointment, I'd like a nice little pair of shorts and a nice shirt that isn't have these big humongous flowers on them, every shirt I have, and glitter. Oh my God, I'm getting so worked up. I got agita. But yeah, so aren't you glad you're sitting through 27 minutes? You're not getting back in your life now. But yeah. But I do love that show, Stephen and Crest. If you're in Canada or anywhere that you see that show, well, tell me about it. Tell me if you like it, because I love it. They do cooking. They do like all kinds of stuff on there. And they're funny, and they are gay, and they've been married, or together, I should say together, for like as long as Dave and I, for like 25 years or something like that. And I love it. And I watch it, and I'm like, Dave, we could do our own show. Look at us. I'm, of course, the whinier one who doesn't do much. We always laugh. But yeah, so, you know, I wanna be on that show. And I want to be with Clinton Kelly on the Chew. Don't know what craft I would do, but I'm thinking about it. Believe me, all in my head, I'm thinking about it. I want to be on Everything Food Network. Everywhere. Not be enough you guys are stuck with me on here, right? Oh, my nose. It's so humid here. It's going to be like 95, but it's like 100% humidity. So, you know, you walk out and you're like, did I take a shower or did I just walk out the door? I'm not real sure. And I'm just gluing. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I'm just gluing these little papers on to cover some more of the clay on the top of the head. And make sure you wash your hands off ever so often, because your hands start to dry with the glue on it, and it makes them sticky, and then they start pulling the paper off when you're trying to put it down. You might know that yourself when you're doing it, but if you're like starting to get frustrated because the paper keeps sticking in your hand, that's why. Because your hands are sticky now with glue. Now I'll probably put hair on this, but we'll see. So I'm not going to worry too much. I'll put a little bit here. You know, when you're getting down to the last part and you're like, kind of like, all right, already. All right. Okay, let me turn. Now you see I'm working on like a sticky, like a, not a sticky mat, non-sticky mat. So make sure you work on something that, you know, you won't stick to, because as it dries, as you heard, it lifted it up a little bit, which is fine, but just so you don't tear off what you just did. So, you know, parchment paper, wax paper, something like that. And every once in a while, just lift it up so you know that you're not, look, it's sticking to my finger. What else can I rant about today? I don't know. Sometimes. Sometimes. Stick it on here. I'm still here. I know most of you are like, is she still here? Because she never shuts up and now she's quiet. And something you guys got to remember when you're doing any type of art, whether you're doing this or whatever, especially if you're just learning, you know, it's handmade. You're hand making it. I understand we all want to be, you know, we want everything to be beautiful and perfect and da 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 da. But, you know, when you're making stuff like this, like you can see, it's going to be, you know, it's not like it's so smooth and beautiful when you see, you know, pictures in the magazine. There's time for that, to do that. If you want to do that, definitely. Sometimes I like just to do this kind of stuff because, like I said, it's fast, it's therapeutic. You have something nice when you're done, you know? Like this can be, I'm thinking about making a kitchen witch. I don't know. We'll see. But you'll be the first ones to know because you'll be stuck watching my video. But yeah, I think I'm going to do it as a kitchen witch and have her hanging, like flying. I might do a broom. I don't know. I have all these ideas in my head, so. You never know. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go around and make sure I have paper on most of it. You know, I mean, you're going to have little areas that don't, and that's okay. If you want to, definitely put the paper, you know, you can go around and do that. But what I'm going to do is lift her up, and I'm just going to kind of give it a check. So I need on these two sides, and I'm going to need to glue that down a little bit better. Need to do there. Just some of the sides. Tissue paper would be great to use on this too, and that would be easier to glue down, really. Okay, 1 second. I'm sorry. My husband and daughter. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know if I want to. Ever since my son died, we have been, and I think it's part of the PTSD, and I think it's part of what happened, but he died in a car accident. Anyway, my daughter was here. We were looking for him all day, and my daughter was here. Finally said, let me just stay home. So when he gets home, and I've told this story before, and I'm not going to go into deep detail, but she said, let me stay here so when he gets home, I can let you guys know. And then you guys still go out and look for him because we were looking for him all day. And she was here by herself when the 4 cops came. Now, um, since it was so traumatizing, with him being out, he got into an accident, and we were out. My daughter was home. We have all been now damaged to the point of we really don't do anything alone because we're always afraid that one of us won't come back or whoever goes out won't come back. Now we're starting to try, which is very, very hard, to go out a little bit on our own. My daughter and I went out on our own. My husband and daughter are out right now on their own. My husband will go out on his own. But now it's like the obsessive texting or calling. Okay, I ran into Verizon. Okay, now I'm going to Walmart. Like that kind of thing that we keep track, because that day will forever be ingrained in our head of the hours and hours looking for him and constantly calling his phone and nobody answering and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know if any of you have ever experienced anything, and it doesn't have to mean, nothing major, but I mean, any type of trauma. I mean, it can be like falling down the steps, with a pair of shoes that you won't wear again, your flip-flops. I don't know, but it's, things that you do to, I don't know if you guys understood any of that I said, because I don't want to talk about it too much, but it can be crazy. It can be crazy. I live a very crazy life. Very crazy life. All right. So thanks for indulging me there for a minute there. A couple people have asked before when I've been recording and I have my phone here and it goes off and it's my husband or he calls, and that's why. We're very in tune with what we do with it, to make sure everybody knows everybody's okay and safe. And sometimes the more steps you take forward, the way more steps you take back. But such is life, I guess, right? We all have our crap. Okay, I'll just do this outside here. Push that down. That was uplifting, wasn't it? Okay. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so here we go. Now what I'm gonna do is take, oh, I see a little peep peep right there. Come here, little peep peep. And like I said, you don't have to cover it all, but when there's like big clay showing, I don't want that all to be showing. Okay. Now, there's probably a million ways you can do this. This is my way. Do it whatever way you want. You don't have to tell me about it, that I'm wrong. I like doing it this way. And I've been doing clay since like 2000 and 2000. Forever. I can't help it that my hands are bad now. Okay, so you see this. So now I'm just going to take my whatever gluing substance you're using. I'm using decoupage. And I'm just going to put it all over. So that seals it down. Remember, it's matte. Because you want to be able to put paint or something on it. Because the paper that you're putting down doesn't really necessarily matter. If a little bit of it shows through, that's great. If that's how you want it. I never know until I get doing something. It's the same when I do like my mixed media backgrounds. I start off with beautiful designs and then I'm like, you know what? I want to cover it up. I want to do this. I just want to peep through. I don't want it so bright. It's that crazy mind of an artist. All right. So I kind of got the glue on there on the front. Now I'm going to take, now you don't have to do this with your heat gun. Your hair dryer would work better probably, but your heat gun will work just as fine. Just don't put it too close. And just give it a quick once over. And what this is going to do is going to help you know if you need glue down on any other parts. Like I can see right here. So I'm just going to push that with my fingers. push that. And push it good. And if you get some bubbles coming up, who cares? It's texture. It's texture. Okay. So you can see how that kind of, it's very bright out there today, but it's no sun. It's like, I'm going to shut that when I go to paint this. Now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And you can push with your paintbrush or your fingers, whatever you want, whatever you have, just so it touches down to dry. I'm going to dry this a little bit in the back. Oops, got glue on my shirt. What's new there? Just so we kind of get some of that going. Put my thing in there. Now what I'm going to do is, see how cool it looks? And we're going to paint her, but what I'm going to do is just kind of go and push down any, because it's not fully dry, but it, you know, it's going to push down any parts that you see that are sticking out. And you definitely can go back and glue them, but I'm going to let this dry. See, now it's because it's, look, I'm going to show you right now. Because I have glue on my hands and it's sticky, and this is still a little bit damp, I just ripped off that. Oh well, it's all right. I'll put another coat of glue on it just to kind of seal that down, but that's all right. But I got to quit touching it. But I love touching it. All right. So I'm going to let that dry, but that is part 1. And then when I do the next video, after this is fully dry, I will be we'll be painting it and making it cool and doing fun things. But that's it for this part. Excuse me. I hope you guys have a great day. And I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you guys do anything like this, or anything with your clay, or any kind of art, because I just love seeing what everybody does, tag me on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere. And oh, I'm sorry, I saw, okay. And, you know, or email it to me if you don't feel comfortable tagging for other people to see it. I have a great group called All Things Creative where everybody posts all their art. It's drama-free. It is fantastic. And that's it. As always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I love you guys so very much. And if you like these kind of videos, give me a thumbs up so I can know to continue making these kind of videos. I got quite a few polymer clay beginners coming out. And also a couple giveaways. So keep tuned. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe so you can see the content I put out pretty much every day, from art journaling, mixed media, clay, to all over the place. So, and I like to do vlogs as well. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.